question though.
Go ahead.
If I have a right to be present, then I have a right to not be present. How can this take place if I don't agree or consent to being present? How can it even still take place without me?
It will take place, sir. I'm just going to honor your request not to be there.
This is the Judge Doro that I like to see. How's it going, everyone? You're watching Everything Else Channel on YouTube, everythingelsechannel.com. If at any point in time you like the video, smash that like button. Please subscribe to the channel, guys. That helps so much. Ring the bell for notifications so you won't miss a single video, and leave a comment down below. Listen, this is going to happen whether you concede to it or not, whether you're there or not. That's all I'm going to say. More or less, that's Judge Doro's response to an obstinate, saboteur like Darrell Brooks Jr. And I call him a saboteur because that was part of his goal during the whole trial. It wasn't to get acquitted. It wasn't a mistrial necessarily. Mistrial a little bit, but he wanted to just throw a monkey wrench into everything. He wanted to drag the process out. He wanted to confuse the jurors, confuse the witnesses. He wanted to get under the skin of Judge Doro, prosecution team. He wanted to get under the skin of the bailiffs. He just wanted just to create chaos. And I don't know if in his, lessons or study hours of sovereign citizen mumbo jumbo that he ever really thought that because he would not be at the car viewing, that it would not happen, that there would be no jury view if he wasn't there or if he didn't allow it. It's just mind-boggling, and that's a Darrell Brooks Jr. term right there. It's mind-boggling that he could think that by him not conceding to a piece of evidence as relevant as the vehicle that was used by him to murder people and gravely injure people, that somehow he could prevent the jury from seeing that just because he wasn't going to be there or because he didn't sign off on it. I don't even think sovereign citizens believe that quackery. You know what I mean? So, but what I like about this clip and why I decided to make this video isn't so much, we all know Darrell Brooks is a nutcase, right? We all know that he comes up with the most cockamamie, like legal theories and weird versions of common sense that are really not common at all. They're actually quite uncommon, irrational. But I like seeing Judge Doro kind of give it to him. And there's not been a lot of clips from that, This clip was actually suggested to me with a timestamp by a viewer in Peoria, did not want to be named. That's fine. I respect your wishes. Other people, not only have I named, but I've actually put links all over the video to their channel in hopes that they'll make their own videos. But this lady out of Peoria did not want to be named, and that's totally fine. Some people have YouTube accounts just to watch videos. Other people watch videos and are open to making their own. She doesn't want to make her own. She likes to watch videos, and she likes to, leave comments and that sort of thing. And in this case, she had sent me an email, which is really cool. I appreciate that. Anybody who wants my email, all you got to do is ask for it in the comments. I will reply with my email. I won't just put it out there just for the general public because, that's how you get spam and stuff. And the email that I'm going to give you is the email that I use for, everything. So I don't want that just being, plastered all over the place. But she wrote me this really cool email, and she gave me a timestamp. And, this is a really good example of why I give Judge Doro a 97. A lot of people are like, why do you keep saying you give Judge Doro a 97? Because a 97 is a really good score. And this is an example of why she deserves a 97, which is a solid A. You're not going to stop the jury from seeing this. I'm going to take your concession to not be there as such. It's a waiver, basically. I'm not going to argue with you. And that's just all I'm going to say. I mean, she just basically laid down the law. She drew the line in the sand, and she defended it. And she was immovable, unmovable, immovable. You understand what I'm trying to say. Because that's where, unfortunately, she fell into a lot of the traps that were set for her by Darrell Brooks Jr. Do I believe she fell for some of them? Absolutely. Absolutely. Do I believe Sue Hopper fell into none of them? Absolutely. Does that mean that Sue Opper is more intelligent than Judge Doro? Not necessarily. I think that Sue Opper was definitely more aggressive than Judge Doro. And I think that that's a point that we could maybe all agree on. But then again, all of us are never going to agree on the same thing, and nor should we. It's good to have dissent, and within dissent, it's good to have situations where people not just disagree, but articulate why they disagree. And sometimes there's a lot of truth in that as well. But I think it's fair to say, oh, by the way, I love this shirt. That's Kermit. But I really like when Judge Doro, during this trial, just laid down the law to Darrell Brooks Jr. I think it was important. I think that, a lot of times, whether he was in charge or not, the perception was that he was. And that's not a good perception, because if I got that vibe and you got that vibe, that's bad. But it would be even worse if a victim or a survivor got that vibe, because the last thing that I think they would have wanted to have seen was the guy responsible for so much suffering to now basically use the trial as his pulpit where he could say and do whatever he wanted. I feel that there were times where that might have been the case. And I definitely, not to go off on a tangent, but I really appreciate Sue Opper never having any kind of downtime with Darrell Brooks Jr. Actually, no one in the prosecution did. Judge Doro did. And for example, when Sue Opper tried to renew a motion to obscure the names and identities of some of the witnesses, particularly the survivors and their family members, immediate family members, and Darrell opposed that and basically made the point, look, this is a public trial. It's always been a public trial. These people do not have, the right to privacy at this point, nor am I going to concede that to them. Instead of the judge simply ruling on Darrell's arguments, which she did, she went on to say that he made some very good points and that he articulated them very well. He may have, but I didn't think that it was Judge Doro's place to give him any kind of accolades. Is that an accolade? I don't know. I didn't care for it, to be honest with you. She could have ruled on his side, but she didn't. I don't feel that she needed to. But maybe, I don't know. Sue Opper never did any of that. Sue Opper was either fair or aggressive. But I don't think I don't think there was a single instance where anyone on prosecution team made Darrell Brooks Jr. feel like they were friends or friendly or I feel that the prosecutors did a very good job of putting their game face on 24/7. When they were fair, sometimes they were more than fair, like helping him with his witness list. Sometimes they were more than fair by explaining things that they didn't have to explain, but the judge, asked them if they would humor her, and they did. So that was fair, a little bit more than fair sometimes, but never to the point where they shared a laugh. And never did they compliment Darrell Brooks Jr. on anything. And Judge Doro did. And I thought that was I didn't like that so much. But all the more reason why I like this clip so much, and why I like the times where she just kind of put him in his place and drew that line in the sand and defended it and didn't backtrack, didn't double talk, didn't walk it back, didn't bend in any way, shape, or form. There were a few instances like the one that this video is inspired by. And again, thank you very much to the viewer from Peoria. I almost said your first name, but I didn't, so I'm real proud of myself. Otherwise, I would have started the whole video all over again, because I do listen to my subscribers, and if you do not want to be named, I'm not going to name you. And so, but I do appreciate it. This was a treat for me. I really like to see the judge in this kind of context with Darrell Brooks Jr., and I'm sure there's others. Like I said, I've been covering this trial on and off for like the last 6, 7, 8 months. Initially, then I erased those and I restarted again, and there's still like endless clips that I've not seen, because I've never actually sat and watched like day one beginning to end, day two beginning to end. I don't have that kind of time, nor do you. And I think that, these clips are so important. And then a lot of people say I talk too much. Well, if you think I talk too much, Sight Sounds Flavors and Everything Else channel, these are not channels for you, because off of a 30-second clip. Sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes it's a 10-second clip. I'll talk whatever. I mean, we're at, I think, like 9 minutes right now. I'm not counting. I enjoy doing this. And I'm also thinking about this other thing. All of the comments that you guys have left over the months, because as I speak, I think of them. And so I incorporate that into my presentation. And again, I invite you guys to email me or leave timestamps in comments or send me the videos to watch because I like seeing Judge Doro in this capacity. And it makes me sometimes sort of second guess my 97. If I saw more of these clips, maybe she'd have a 98. But I also know a lot of clips where she, taking off 3 points is as generous as I can get, because really some people give her a B minus and they still love her to death, but they give her a B minus. So me giving her a 97, I think, says how much I think about her. I think very, very highly of her, but I'm not going to lie. I think a Sue Opera higher. In any event, who loved seeing Judge Doro lay down the law to Darrell Brooks Jr. and who didn't, and who's in between? Leave a comment down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching Everything Else channel here on YouTube, everythingelsechannel.com. Please like the video, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and leave a comment down below. Peace.